I wanted you. My guy Billy, what's going on, my dude?
What's
I
good,
think you
brother?
may be the only outsider right now, and when I say outsider, just meaning most of the gentlemen that are on the screen here with you are students of mine. Phenomenal operators. These guys are just phenomenal people. Guys, meet Billy. Billy is out of Dallas, right? Out of Dallas. He is the president of the Chamber of Commerce out there in Dallas. Big guy to know, big guy. Very nice dude, man. The rest of you guys, man, I am so appreciative, obviously, of your time. And I think what we will be covering today, you guys will find a lot of value in. We've been going down this path now for almost 4 years in multifamily and seen a ton of success. We're now working on opening or launching probably about our seventh or eighth business right now. And, what we love is to see, especially new operators and new business owners, really kind of not struggle, but, have this epiphany about what it takes to not only launch, but be successful in business or even in their W 2 roles, and to really be able to take it to the next level. But Billy, you don't know this, but everyone else does. As we always say, if we are not having a good time, we are doing it wrong. So please, I will give you a couple of minutes to grab your beverage of choice. Tonight, for me, it is all right. There we go. Who has their beverage of choice tonight? What is it? Okay, okay. I got a little bit of Cuervo here with me tonight, guys. Um, and we just came off of practice. Boys have football practice, so I did about 95 to get here. I'm glad that we are here with everyone right now. I have my wonderful assistant on the one and twos. You can't see her, but she is always in the building and in the room. So if everyone has their beverage of choice, I will get ready to get going. We do have some folks that are still sneaking in here, so I'll give it a couple of more seconds, a couple of more minutes, so it just gives you that time to run and go get that. But today we are speaking about, who knows what we're speaking about today? Who knows what we're speaking about today? This is something very special to me. It's not a new concept, but it's a concept I don't think that people speak about a lot. And I'm working on a keynote for this concept. And really, what the umbrella or the kind of parent concept is applied identity economics, right? Self is a business, and also understanding that your lived experience is your true value. Okay. Your lived experiences are your true value. We are not underpaid. We are under leveraged. We are not leveraging who it is. We are, as people, how we have become these people through the experiences that we've had. All right. So, again, please grab your beverage of choice as we get going. It's going to be a good one. I think you'll enjoy it. I'll be back in a second, just a second. You guys feel free to introduce yourselves. Again, this is a small crew, but you guys are here for a reason. Even if you don't know it yet, you are here for a reason. Each one of you. Terrence, what's good, brother? How you doing, man?
What's going
Terrence
on,
is
man?
out
On
and
my way to
about,
work.
man.
Hey, I had to come here. I had to be here, though. I had
I
to be
hear
here.
it. I hear it. Appreciate you coming. I'll be right back with you guys. All right, all right, all right. Wonderful, guys. So in a second, you guys are going to have a participant guide. It's going to be loaded up into the chat, so keep an eye out for that. I need sharing capabilities over there, and we're going to get started. All right, perfect. So, before we even get started, I want to talk about a little bit why I created the CEO Boardroom. The CEO Boardroom is not only a kind of club, if you will, but it is a space for men, very specifically in business, to not only bond with one another, share each other, share experiences, but to really put ourselves in a position to command the boardroom. And that boardroom could look like a classroom. That boardroom can look like your household, right? You know, leading well. I think everyone is entitled to be led well, right? And, you know, a lot of times what we're looking for as leaders is sometimes either a little bit of guidance or, an idea sometimes of what it means to lead well, or be able to learn from others that are doing things that possibly we're not doing, or maybe even share some of the experiences that we have with others, whether they're younger than us, more experienced than us, or less experienced than us. And I think the CEO Boardroom kind of culminates to that, that environment where we can come here and, no ego, and just be completely 100 with one another, and to share those experiences and to grow with one another. And so that's why CEO Boardroom was created, very specifically in our school community. Some of you folks or most of you folks have access to that. Not all of you do, but that's what it's for. And so what we're going to do is each quarter, we're going to do something very specific for the men in business that are associated with YM2 Academy. And it's going to be, certain things that I think will help based off of our experience, my learned experience, as well as what we're seeing out in the marketplace that we think should be addressed if it's not already being addressed. So, this is the CEO Boardroom, guys. Welcome. Welcome. Now, this is also a collaborative space. This isn't me talking at you, right? This is us talking with one another. So if there are questions, insights, right, shared or learnings that you can pull from what we're speaking about, or maybe even some similarities or things that you're seeing out in the marketplace, like that's what this is for, right? So I don't want you to feel like, okay, I'm just here to learn. No, it's like I'm here to collaborate, right? What we know is that the winners are collaborating, right? Those at the top are collaborating. In order for us to be able to grow the way we would like to grow intentionally, it's to collaborate with folks who are like-minded as us, right? And so hopefully this can be a space where you find, that partnership, right? And that road to success with others. All right. Before I get going, is there any questions that anyone may have? Any comments or insights? And if not, I'm going to get moving. All right. So there is a participant guide in the, let's call the CEO Boardroom Participant Guide. All right. So you guys will download that. I want you to follow along. Where there's spaces to go ahead and add information, feel free to do that. I might even ask for you guys to share some of your insights. So what you've learned from either this class or this presentation, if you will, or what you've seen in your personal lives that you may want to share with the group as well. Okay. So again, this is the business of being yourself, right? The executive operating system of leadership. All right. So really quick, man, we're going to go through this. We're going to cover obviously the concept, right? Of the business of being yourself, self as a company model. I don't know if anyone has heard of that. Has anyone heard of self as a company model before? All right. What up, John? What's going on, man? What's going on, brother? Hey, look, man, breakfast of choice. Like, everybody, please bring it to the table and get ready for a ride. We're also going to the CEO bottleneck, right? Where are we getting stuck? Where we have the ability to get stuck? The identity ceiling of revenue, leadership leverage equation. You're going to see these trademark license type of things, and these are part of, I guess, our assets that we're moving forward with, and we're building this kind of step by step. I think leaders in this space and throughout other spaces, like when you think about thought leadership, you really want to be able to design and build off of kind of the concepts and the learned or lived experiences that you had. And so some of these things are trademarked, and some of these things are going to be making it into a very larger body of work. So if you see that, that's what that is. You have the executive decision stack, founder evolution curve, and strategic room rules, as well as the CEO boardroom pyramid. Okay. So again, man, thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate your time and attention. The key of this is your business will never outperform its leadership, right? You will never outperform your identity, is what that is, right? So we're going to introduce some of these foundational concepts that truly leaders themselves need to understand and master to operate enterprises. Whether your business is tiny or it's huge, whether it's a business of your family or not, your family will never exceed the level of your leadership, right? Think about that, right? And this, again, is not just business, but it's all facets of our lives, all right? So this is kind of what our pillars are. This is what we believe. You can read along. I'm going to read it to you. As business owners, we believe that the ceiling of a company is never set by the market, right? It's set by the identity of the operator. Revenue reflects decisions. Decisions reflect identity. And if a business is stuck, it's not a strategy problem. It's an identity constraint at the leadership level, right? Last night I was speaking to a class of students, and I was very frank about what I've seen in the marketplace, about what some of you guys may seen, right? And there are companies out there that, started off as great companies, and they stalled. And they stalled in a very major way. And the reason why they stalled is because of the level of leadership. Okay? When we start these businesses, guys, no one starts a business to get stuck. We start businesses to eventually maybe scale and then sell. Right? And the reason why you're starting to see maybe some places in your network that you're a part of, they're slowing down and phasing out is because of the level of leadership. So as business owners, we treat identity, we don't treat it as mindset work, right? Mindset can only get you so far. We treat it as an infrastructure. All right. So identity is an operating system that governs how decisions are made, how teams are led, how opportunities are evaluated, how risk is processed, how value is created and captured. And like any operating system, if it's outdated, everything built on top of it becomes inefficient. Now think about this. You have a brand new operating system in an iPhone. What is it? Where are we at now? I'm not an iPhone 16, right? We're at iPhone 6. I remember the first one came out. It was like a brick. iPhone 16. Now let's say you take that operating system, right, from the iPhone 16 and you put it in the iPhone 1. What is going to happen to that iPhone 1? Will it perform as an iPhone 16? Yes or no? Nope. There's no way, right? Because the operating system, it is far too progressive than the software, the hardware that it is sitting in, right? So you have to think about your business the same way. Right? If you need to learn new skills, or if you have learned new skills, you can't put that in an old framework. Right? This works vice versa. So I want you guys to understand that in order for your business to grow, you have to upgrade your operating system. You guys following me? Right? Your operating system is always going to be your identity. Right? When I say you can never outperform your identity, that's a quote by Ed Milet. And the reality is what you think you're capable of, you will be able to attain. If you do not think you're capable of it, there is no way that you can do that. This is also called the law of the lid by John Maxwell. You can never outperform your lid. Okay? So this is the framework here, right? So every leader in this room really is running two businesses. Like the first one is obvious, right? It's your company. It's your revenue, your team, your operations, your growth. But there's a second business that determines everything about the first one. And most leaders never intentionally design it. That business is you. You are the enterprise. It's your identity, your thinking, your standards, your decision making. And whether you realize it or not, your company is a direct reflection of how well that business is being run. So today, we're not talking about tactics. We're not talking about mindset. We're not talking about what we're talking about is operating systems behind everything you do as a leader, right? This is the business of being yourself. Okay? And this is the framework. So, guys, your company will rarely outgrow the internal architecture of the leader running it. You can change strategy, you can hire more people, you can raise more capital. But if the identity of the leader doesn't evolve, the company eventually hits a ceiling. And that's why we start here, the business of being yourself. Because when the leader evolves, everything downstream changes with it. This is the idea of self as a company. I want you to think about it yourself differently. Think about yourself differently, not just as a leader, but as an enterprise. Your identity is your operating system. Your values is your governance. Your skills are your products. Your experience is your intellectual property, and your relationships are your partnerships. Not only that, but your environment is the marketplace, and your boundaries are is your risk management. And yes, your money is your value exchange. And if any part of this system is underdeveloped, it shows in your business. Okay, so the question becomes, are you intentionally designing the enterprise of you or reacting as you go? Many of us are just reacting as we go, especially when we start out. Because many of us are not looking at ourselves as the actual business. And so what happens is we have these very real bottlenecks. So at the beginning of business, the founder should be involved in everything. You should be, but at scale, if you, the business owner, the founder, the CEO, remains the center of every decision, the company grows only at the speed of one person. No matter how strong the team is, no matter how big the opportunity is, everything has to pass through you. And when that happens, you don't have a scalable company, you have a dependency. But the shift is this: from being the center of execution to becoming the designer of systems. I'll say that again. You have to go from being the center of execution to becoming the designer of systems. Who's with me? Again, when the CEO stays at the center of every decision, the company scales at the speed of only one person. And that brings us to a very real problem. And it's the identity ceiling of revenue. Most people think revenue ceilings are caused by external factors like market conditions, capital timing. But in reality, revenue ceilings are identity ceilings. An operator's identity creates income. Man, shit, I don't think y'all hearing me. I don't think y'all hearing me. Your identity is what creates income. A builder identity creates teams. A leader identity creates organizations. An architect identity creates enterprises. Your business will not grow beyond the identity that you're willing to operate from. One thing that we do in our program, Public Speaking for Capital Raisers, is the first maybe 3 or 4 weeks of class, we're digging into who you are as a person. To understand what your true value is. That's not only for you, that's for the people that you serve. Because certainty in who you are as a person allows you to walk out into the marketplace knowing that you can make a change in people's lives. Knowing that you have the skills and the value to add to other people. And we have this thing, man, we call you guys our soul clients. Why? Because everyone we work with wants to impact people. And those who do not want to impact people somehow do not make it to rooms like this. And we're grateful for that. Now, what we need to do is empower ourselves to understand that we can do more. We need to raise our lids. Understand that we are not only needed, but valued and valuable. Here's a leadership leverage equation. So the idea about this is elite CEOs, they don't scale by working hard. Oh, shit, I don't think y'all listen to me. Elite CEOs don't scale by working harder. You ever see one of those Facebook or Instagram dudes that go, and I actually saw one today. This dude he was an old guy, had a Superfly Corvette, and the lady said, "How did you get that?" And he goes, "Work harder." Oh, what? I got a farmer on here on this call today. You can't tell me that he doesn't work hard and his family doesn't work hard. If you ever hear a billionaire tell you to work harder, you know he's hiding the bag. The wealthy don't scale by working harder. They scale by multiplying leverage. Time, decisions, people. Where you invest your time determines your focus. The quality of your decisions determines your direction. And the caliber of your people determines your capacity. Scale is not effort. Scale is leverage. So how do we do this? We have to make the right decisions. Most leaders try to improve decisions at the surface, but elite decisions are built from a stack. Principles. So I ask you, what do you believe? Your principles are what you believe. Your perspective is how you see a situation. And the options are the paths that are available in front of you. So you have to decide, what are you committed to? And you have to execute. How will it be carried out? If you set forth making decisions in this way, you can't help but to be successful. If your decisions aren't producing results, then don't fix the decision only. Fix what it's built on. Use this stack. This stack will guide you in making the right decisions. Allow this to be your foundation. Because the elite decisions aren't made on the surface. They're built from the foundation up. Here's what we want to evolve, or how we want to evolve, right? At every stage of growth, the founder, the operator, the business owner must evolve. You have to evolve if you want to scale. The operator, again, the lead, the architect. You have to evolve if you want to create a legacy. So the founder who built the first million is rarely the same leader and person who built the next 100 million. Let me ask you this. You guys have started this in this space. Are you the same person today as when you started? Some of you guys have only been here a couple of months. Are you the same person today as when you started? And if you were, you can raise your hand. You can put it in the chat. Tell me, are you the same person? Because I can tell you right now, I have had extensive conversations with every single one of you gentlemen. And I've seen a change in you from one conversation to the next. Growth. True growth. Understand this, guys. If identity evolution stops, growth stops. You have to keep evolving and growing and evolving your identity. How do we do that? Strategically. Now, I'm going to say something that's going to make some people uncomfortable on this call. Because some people are not used to getting from behind that computer. But here's the key. It's what we call the strategic room rule. Every leader operates in rooms. You need to pick which room you want to operate from. Rooms of comfort where your identity is reinforced, that identity you have now. You have rooms of competence where your thinking is challenged. And rooms of greatness where your vision expands. So your environment quietly determines your leadership ceiling. So the question is what room are you spending most of your time in? What room are you spending the most of your time in? And be honest. I want to hear you guys. Be honest. Are you in rooms of comfort? Are you in rooms of competence? Are you in rooms of greatness? Last night we spoke about how we network, and we network top down. Think about this strategic room rule. When you network top down, do you think that is networking to greatness or comfort? Put in the chat. Greatness or comfort? Yep. Yep. Where's my chat? Yep. Push yourself. You know, it's interesting. Goodness, I forget his name. But one of our, I guess you could call him an OG, Nick. He's on the call tonight. I seen him. He presented in front of Mr. Peebles. You guys know who that is? Mr. Peebles. Yeah, Nick was an individual when he started. Nick, I call him an introvert. He would call himself an introvert. He would. Yep, you too, Mike. Yep, a lot of you. And then he was presenting in front of one of, if not the most prolific black real estate tycoon in America. Mr. Peebles. Business magnate. He was in a room of greatness. Nothing comfortable about that presentation, I can assure you. So I ask you again, what room are you spending most of your time in? If you're not thinking about that, think about it now. And be strategic and intentional about spending it in the right places. Everything we talked about builds into one model. At the base, it's identity, then decisions, then leverage, then scale, then legacy. And most people try to scale from the top, but everything scales upward from you, the self, from your identity. Upgrade the leader, and the entire pyramid rises. What I love about these meetings that we're going to be doing, we're not here for a long time, but we're here for a good time. I want to leave you guys with things that allows you to have a little bit of perspective, but really gives you an opportunity to build on. Okay? And this is the purpose of the CEO Boardroom. It's not just to improve your business, but to upgrade the operating system of you. You are leaders. We are depending on you to lead well. Again, guys, upgrade your identity, elevate your decisions, multiply your leverage, and scale the enterprise and business to build the legacy. So before we get out of here, I want you guys to decide one thing and affirm it today. What is the one move that you will execute before our next session? Not 10 things, just one thing. Because clarity drives execution and execution drives results. So I want you to write it down. And whatever you write down, that's where your next level begins. Any questions? Let's go around the horn. Let's go around the horn. Hold on. Let me, where's my camera at? Where's my camera at?
Right there, video.
Why can't I see myself?
Right there.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Let's go around the horn.
Come on, camera.
Come on, camera. Let me see your faces. If you can. If you can. If you are unable to, I'm not going to take camera shy, but if you're unable to jump on camera, please don't worry about it. But what I want to know is, what is it? What is one thing that you guys are going to focus on? Come off mute.
I'll go ahead and start, Yanni.
There you go. Thank you, brother. Go ahead.
I was actually thinking about this earlier on the leadership call at lunchtime over here. And my network, of course, network is your net worth. And I'm going to expand mine and get involved and go to some meetups with different individuals that do things completely opposite of the way I do it. Engineers, technology professionals. Even though I might be in the field, but I haven't spoken to them at different events. I'm trying to find some private groups, just different things out of the ordinary, and meet people, meet more people.
I love it. Yeah, stretch yourself, get uncomfortable. Who else? Who else wants to share? I appreciate you, Terrence. Who else wants to share?
Me? For me, I'm looking at the two slides, the executive decision stack and the CEO boardroom pyramid. It's that bottom layer, starting with the bottom layer. The principles. Can't bend your principles for anybody. no matter how much you love them, how long your relationship with them has been, those strong principles, and upgrading the identity of myself. Because deep down, for some reason, I don't think I can influence high net worth people, only my peers.
Mm.
So I'm having great conversations with my peers, but with high net worth people a little more seasoned or older than me, it's not as free flowing. So that's a mindset thing, in my opinion.
You know what, man? I love that you said that. How many people feel that way? Truly feel that way? Yeah. You're not alone there, Tyler. I think that could be one of the most common things, especially, stepping into new spaces. Here's what I want you guys to think about when you think about that. Who do you know that has gone through the exact same things that you've gone through in your life? Yeah. Yeah. No one. What did Jay-Z said? Nobody built like you. You design yourself. You have a unique value proposition that no one else shares. And the thing that people overlook or do not know, and believe me, I was exactly where you're at, is high net worth people are impacted by, who wants to finish the sentence? Purpose. High net worth people want purpose for profit. You give a high net worth person something to feel good about, that they're spending their money on something that matters, and they will spend more money than you knew they could. But the way you impact them is understanding what it is that they value, those things that they find purposeful in their lives, or what they want, what they aspire to, what are the things that they want to do. And the great thing about that is every one of us can learn about people, and every one of us is curiously and genuinely interested in others, or else we wouldn't be in the businesses that we are. We are here to serve. So just know that everything that you already have today is enough to make an impact on anyone, not just high net worth people, but anyone, because you have a reason for what you're doing and why you're doing it. You may just need a little bit of help articulating what that is, or bringing that to the forefront. Because I know at times I knew I wanted to impact people, I just didn't know how. And so it's hard trying to figure out, like, how do I want to help people change their lives, but how do I do it? How do I do it? And when I was able to be able to articulate that and find it and really dig in, I realized how many people I could impact, and it just became like everything for me. And all of you guys are the same way. There's a way that you were designed, that you were put here in this realm, on this earth. That reason is to impact people. And you are uniquely positioned to do that in your own special way, based off of the experiences that you've had that has brought you here today. I talk about it all the time, man. Those adversities, those things, those tragedies, all of those things, those wins and those learnings, they were all gifts. They were gifts to show you what you are here for and how you can position those gifts, those learnings, to help others that may be in the same situation as you, or heading into the same situation that you've made it through. So believe me, man, you're not alone there. And it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of thinking about it, right? But you have to dig into your identity first. Why me? Ask that question. Why me? Why can I do this? Why me? Who else, man? Who else wants to share? I love that. Thank you, Tyler. Who else? Who else?
Hey, Yanni, so for me, and I appreciate the invite, by the way,
Absolutely.
it's not being afraid to show people what I actually am, not who, so to speak. Because I get the question, what do I do?
Mm.
And so when I was in the rooms, the different family office people, CEOs, all that, I would literally say something like, I'm here for the tacos. Because first of all, you don't know me. You're not my client. And we're not about to do some interview as if it's a transactional exchange. And so I usually diffuse it by just making a joke or something like that. But what I like about what you're doing, this is real deep. Like this is next level because I'm pretty good at filtering out noise from sales pitch from whatever. This is something different. Way, way, way different. Being in the chamber, I meet with all kinds of people on a weekly, sometimes daily basis, from 7 to 10 figures. And just the sheer honesty. And I can tell you care because these kind of talks, there's usually a price tag attached to it. Now, I don't know what people have paid, but what I can tell you is it costs everything. And it's worth every penny, whatever that is. And so I'm going to go ahead and readjust some things for myself that I haven't done yet, just so that question can be answered for me because some of the things it just resonates. I'm not there yet, but I'm seeking it. And I know I belong.
That's right. Thank you, brother. Thank you for saying that, man. I appreciate that. Who else wants to share? What are you guys going to focus on? Just one thing.
So for me, I think it's just waking up at the time I say I'm supposed to wake up every single day. I want that to be by no later than 4:30, so I can have my whole AM routine set time apart for myself, for my mind to get clear on what the goals are for the day. What does a successful day even look like? I think that starts with obviously getting to bed at the right time, but then having that mentality no matter what. I don't need the more rest. I could get it a little bit later. I could, drink some coffee, drink some Red Bull, but I'm just setting that standard and I think Marisol just said it the best. Like I refuse to lie to myself is what it is. Start the day by lying to yourself. So I think that's going to be my main focus forward.
Yeah. Refuse to break promises to yourself. Yeah. Especially starting off the day with that. I love it. It's a discipline. Be more disciplined and stick to it. I think that's awesome. Thanks, man. Well, look, I don't want to go on too long. I hope that you guys extracted an extreme amount of value from this. We plan to do this once a quarter. I don't know how we are. We love to pour. We love to do as much as we can for our community. And so I'm saying it's once a quarter now. But if you know anything about us, we'll sneak in some more here and there. But I do want to tell you guys that I really appreciate the time that we spent together. Thank you for being engaged and dialed in. And I look forward to having more conversations with each one of you about this topic and really identifying ways that we can understand ourselves more so that we may serve from that elevated identity. Again, I'll say it. You guys are important. You're valued, you're valuable, and your value is needed. Don't sit on the sidelines. Double down and know that you're needed. Know that you're valued and know that you're good enough to be in any room. All right? Love you guys, man. We'll talk soon. If you're not on the calendar, get on the calendar as soon as you can. Peace and love.